As long as there's no counter spell, right, Maya? What do you think, girl? We're good. Oh, it is there. No! Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to help support the channel. Before we get into it, like the video. It helps so much. If you like my content, show some friggin' support, Randy. Today, we're going to be playing Esper Walkers. Woof. We have Teferi. We have Kaya. We have Ashiok and the Dream Trawler, which is good enough to be a Planeswalker in my opinion. Lace that in with some really cool removal, both new and old, and a ton of Scrylands as well. Don't worry if you don't really know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to break it down for you more in depth, talking about the strategies and synergies within the list, moving into the gameplay footage, discussing now our playlines and interactions, and finally wrapping up with our final thoughts and deck review. This is going to give you a good idea whether or not the deck fits your personal playstyle and of course your wildcard collection. I gotta thank you guys one more time. You're amazing. I hope you're all having a magical day. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it to your friends, and definitely check out the Linktree link for all of our goodies, whether it's some music that I listen to, it's the community invites and our tournaments and contests and giveaways. It's all in there, right? So let's get into the video and talk about Esper Walkers in standard best of 1 top 1000 Mythic. Ayo River! Esper Walkers standard best of 1 3.8 average mana value with 32 non-creatures and 4 creatures, 24 land to support. That's just the basic amount of land you'd run in a 60 card deck, unless your mana curve is through the roof, and then I like to go to 26, or we can really lighten that load depending on the draw in the deck and the mana curve in the deck. But 3.8 is pretty heavy, so we're really looking to run not only that 24 land, but we also run a ton of Scryland in the deck. Now this serves two purposes. A, it will allow you to ensure that you're never missing a land drop. And that's very, very important in a control deck, right? We want to make sure we hit that 4-drop for Extinction Event. We want to make sure we hit that 5-drop for Shadow's Verdict. I know you know what I mean. This will also make the mana base much friendlier, especially in a 3-color deck. Esper is white, black, and blue. The Scrylands help us hit our land drops, plus they fix our mana base, right? Absolutely lovely. We do have the Castle Vantress here and the Castle Ardenvale. Ardenvale for 5, making a 1/1, and Vantress also for 5 to scry 2, which is really nice. If you're not using your mana for the turn, you can do that on your opponent's end step. That's the basics of the deck. Moving forward from there, we have a lot of shenanigans here, and this will involve recursion from the graveyard. Elspeth Conquers Death will allow us to play permanents from our graveyard, both creatures and planeswalkers, which is super helpful in the deck. For 5 mana, when it enters the battlefield, exile target permanent and opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater. So even that on itself is very good. Next up, we tax our opponent's non-creature spells by 2 until our next turn. Very good. And then finally, return target creature or planeswalker from our graveyard to the battlefield with either a +1/+1 counter or a loyalty counter on it. Groovy. So with that in mind, we now want to work on a way to discard some of our, more powerful creatures and planeswalkers to bring them back. Teferi can do this. Teferi is a 4 mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker with the static ability, allowing him to activate his loyalty abilities on each player's turn at instant speed. +1, draw a card, then discard a card. -3, target creature you don't control phases out. -10, take 2 extra turns after this one. Holy moly, guacamole. So that's really good. But the +1 here to draw a card and discard a card will allow us to A, search for Elspeth Conquers Death, and B, discard one of our other planeswalkers, whether it's Kaya, whether it's Ashiok, or Dream Trawler as well. So we're going to talk about them in a second. We'll start with Dream Trawler because this also has a discard function, so you can do them in reverse order having multiple ways to discard some of your creatures is a key component to a recursion deck, and Elspeth Conquers Death is just going to love that, right? So Dream Trawler is a 6 mana value, 2 generic, 2 white, 2 blue for a total of 6 again. 3 power, 5 toughness with flying and lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, Trawler gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. And whenever Dream Trawler attacks, draw a card, again, triggering on your draw step. And then when it attacks, it's going to trigger again. They will also trigger each other, which is really, really cool. And we can discard a card to give Dream Trawler hexproof until the end of turn. We will have to tap it though, right? So that's really cool. It draws cards for us to discard to give it hexproof. Great. We can also be discarding, like, mentioned at the start of the spiel, Kaya, Ashiok, other copies of Dream Trawler to pull back with our Elspeth Conquers Death. We have removal to make sure we survive within the field wipes. 3 copies of Extinction Event for 4. Choose odd or even, then exile each creature of the chosen value. And then 4 copies of Shadow's Verdict for 5 at sorcery speed as well, to exile all creatures and planeswalkers from the graveyard and the battlefield with mana value 3 or less. We have single target removal, exile within Baleful Mastery, exiling target creature or planeswalker for 4. We can cast it for as little as 2, but then if we do, our opponent will draw the student cost. Ugh. We also have Heartless Act, ×3 for 2, choose 1, instant speed, destroy creature with no counters, remove up to 3 counters from a creature. A single copy of Eliminate, instant speed, destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. So that's going to be enough removal for the deck, in my opinion. We also have removal within Kaya the Inexorable for 5 mana, 5 loyalty, +1 to put a ghost form counter on up to 1 target non-token creature you control. It gains when this creature dies or is put into exile, return it to its owner's hand, and create a 1/1 white spirit creature token flying. Woo! We can also -3 to exile target non-land permanent. Now that's the removal I was mentioning. We can also -7 if we get there. Now this is a key component to the deck. It's what it's all about. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a legendary spell from among your hand or graveyard, which is great. And also in exile without paying its mana cost. So whether it's in your hand, your graveyard, or in exile, at the beginning of your upkeep, you'll be able to cast one of them for free. So all of the planeswalkers are legendary, which is really nice. So every turn, you're going to get a free planeswalker, whether it's Teferi, whether it's Kaya, whether it's Ashiok, and that will allow you to spend your mana now on your Dream Trawler. Your Elspeth Conquers Death can focus on bringing your Dream Trawlers back instead, which is really cool. Ashiok has a form of passive removal within the -3, again for 5 mana, 5 loyalty, +1 to create a 2/3 nightmare, and whenever it engages in combat, it will exile the top 2 cards of our opponent's library. -3, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then that player exiles a card from their hand. So where this is really great, in my opinion, is exiling a token. If they have a token creature, the token can't go to their hand, it dies, you get the kill. Plus, now they still have to exile something from their hand. 2 thumbs up. -7, you may cast 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponents own from exile without paying their mana cost. Whew, now we're talking, right? So that's really, really good to close out the game with your opponent's spells. We have General Disruption through Negate. Counter target non-creature spell, instant speed for 2. Sorry, Ugins, sorry, ultimatums, get out of here. And on that same note, we have 3 copies of Agonizing Remorse, instant speed for 2. Sorcery speed for 2. Target opponent reveals their hand, and we choose a non-land card from it, or their graveyard, and then exile that card. We lose 1 life. So we could use graveyard control if it's a 4 mana value or higher card that we need to take care of, because Shadow's Verdict is going to get everything underneath of it, right? At least if they're creatures or planeswalkers. Or, we preemptively use it as other copies of Negate. It's like, instead of a reactive Negate, it's a, proactive or whatever. So we can take out the ultimatums. We can take out the Ugins, the annoying things from our opponent's hand that we don't want to run into later. And then we have foreknowledge of what they're playing. And that'll really help us out to know whether we need to rush to a Negate, whether we need to rush to a field wipe, or we've got some time to set up some Planeswalkers and some Elspeth Conquers Deaths, right? So that's quite nice. The tome will allow us to scry and draw. Every time you do it, you put a page counter on it. You have to pay 2 to draw. And once you've done 4 of those, you'll sack it to exile, gain 4 life. Great, groovy. And I think that's it, right? That's the entire deck. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Esper Walkers is tearing it up in the top 900 Mythic, beating some of the best decks. You guys, great footage for you today. I hope you enjoy. If you have not already done so, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out our Linktree link for all of the goodies, whether you want to support on Patreon or just get in on our contests, our tournaments, our community. It's all available to you there. So enjoy the gameplay footage, and again, a reminder, I'll be back to wrap up with my final thoughts on the deck and our final review, I guess we could say, as well. Enjoy. 2 lands, scry into a triome. We're looking for a second black source. We're looking for a second... No, we're not. And then we're looking for 2 blue. So a black and 2 blue is our land hunt. That's always the first thing I think of when I'm playing Esper. It's one of the hardest land bases, in my opinion, especially right now. So that's not a land. It can go. Right, get rid of that. We kept the hand because we had Scryland and we had a tome, right? That gives us a couple touch points. We have no 3-drop, so let's go with Mazemind Tome, and the 3-drop can be a Scry. Oh, it's rogues. I don't want to play against rogues, man. This is like playing against Sultai Ultimatum. Ah! No one escapes unpunished. No free rides here. Let's do our best, right? Hopefully we don't get milled out. That's the worst way to go. Land is good. The scry is basically worthless. Let's just leave the land there. Right, because they're going to mill that land. What you got, Willis? What you got over there? Couple of Thought Thieves, couple into the stories. So there's that land that we knew about. Oh, really? Take a draw. That's your first warning. Don't make me give you another. Oh, passage with no crab in play. Thank you, Lord. We're looking for that 5th land. If they play Luris, we top deck a land. And they don't have a counter. It's tapped! It's a tapped land! That does open up our Negate, though, which I like. They didn't even play a creature with Flash! That is so good for us. Unbelievably so. That's their 5th land. They want to protect Luris with a counterspell. But why even play it? There's nothing in the grave. Really? May I have one of your counter spells, please, Danny? Let's see what they do. Oh, there it is. We get another Kaya right up top, and a Teferi. We really want to draw out as many counterspells as we can from their hand, so this Elspeth hits. That's important for us. Something they definitely should counter. It's not hitting anything, which is a bummer. Did they have Cling to Dust? No? Okay, there's another counterspell. Cool, 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 cool beans. 37 in deck. Oh. That physically pains me. Why do this? Wish we had Negate there. So there goes the path of, like, drawing out other counterspells, because they've got 13 more now. Okay. Yeah, we should have negated. If we had Negate, that would have been so much better. I was being greedy. I was being super greedy. It's just all around bad. I guess. The events are of higher value, so we should keep them. I think they want to save the crab. Or they burn it to replay it with Luris. Which means we can... Oh my god! You dog, Danny. Not one, but two into the stories. Ah! Nice. That is ideal for them. They are loving it. 7 untapped mana with 30 cards in your hand. How do you lose that as a rogue deck at this point? We'll do our best, though. No free rides. So guaranteed there's counter magic in hand. The 3 mana. It would have to be another drowned. Didn't say please, it's not applicable with our mana base. Well, there's a holdup, so I imagine they have it. Ground the lock. You dog! Respectable play. Wow! We are getting bodied. 3 into the stories. Woohoo! Absolutely phenomenal gameplay by them. If you guys want to know how to play rogues, Danny's got you covered. It's nothing I'd personally cover on my channel. It's a little dirty for me, but you know. What is that? 2,000 card mill here? Great game, bro. I knew he'd get milled out. Rogues can't beat me any other way. Makes me want to use oh, what is it? The clock! I want to use the clock more often. I want to actually get countered one last time. You know what I mean? Like, let's really make sure that they perfected this match. Obviously, they have it, but 3 into the stories. Well, that's at least a little bit satisfying, right? It's better than not having done it. Oh my god. Leave me alone. They're just gonna mill us out regularly. No free rides. Make them mill you. Make them kill you. Right? Don't just concede. Unless you're at time restraints for something, right? Now, even if we came back right from this, we just don't have enough, right? We're just dead! Give me that last card! Yahoo! I wish we had a draw. Right? I want to make myself die. Absolutely magical. Get bodied, streamer. Rogues. You know, they're not out there as much, which I really appreciate, but they still exist. And I honestly don't mind it anymore. I was going through a phase at one point where I was upset. Like, I seen rogues and I was just like, oh, I oughta. Right? But now, you know, they're few and far between, so it's actually kind of cool to play against them again. So, we're playing against Yorion, which means Ultimatum. I hate it. We do not have an Agonizing Remorse in hand. But we have the tomes, which are so good. It's hard, it's hard not to keep it, right? It could be hard to get. 3 tomes. Wow. We can hope they're... No. Oh, yeah, they definitely are. They definitely are. No one plays those cards without it. Make sure to play the middle tome. That's really important in that playline. They're playing slow. Wolf Willow? Yeah, almond. Ramen noodles of the sea. It's like they call this the sky noodle, but it's like omen. Should be ramen. Ramen of the sea. And they go together too, like perfectly. Come on. Come on. Someone at Wizards loves the noodle. Yeah, we have so many that it does not matter. Just looking for a white land, I guess. Well, that is a second black source as well. It's not bad. It's not that bad, man! How do we not lose this match? Right? Just like... I feel like Jace, you know what I mean? With the equations just like floating around my head. But instead of math equations, they're just like ultimatums. Just like, ah! Okay. Yeah, we saw that coming. Really? I mean, we already scribed that there, didn't we? Then that's a good card, Billy. Now that's a good card. Another tome in play. Unfortunately, when you only have 2 tomes, you can't play the middle tome. It's like, which one is the middle tome? Right? You're just like switching them back and forth. Trying to click right between the 2 of them. Right? For them, they're like, which binding do I play? Whatever, man. Give me that frickin' negate. They have 6 to 7. Like, it just doesn't work. We have to hold up this negate forever. Like, we literally can never play a Planeswalker. We can't ever play a Planeswalker. We can draw through our tome, right? At least that's in play. Hey, Maya? What's up, girl? She says, hurry up, Dad. Let's go for real walks. Enough of this wheel BS. I should set up some screens for her, and then it would be like just the forest, and the forest would play through in correlation to the speed of the wheel, and it would be like she's running through forest real time. Oh, man! Virtual reality cat. That's our new YouTube channel, you guys. We need donations for that, though. That would be expensive. Yeah. We'll get to it one day. Alright, Yorion over. So maybe they don't even have it. Let's take the draw. Not bad. Scries are good. That is not bad. So, we could draw and remorse if it's not in their hands. I think we have to do it. This is risky biscuits times 1,000. Because if it's not there, we can take Yorion out. As long as there's no counterspell, right, Maya? What do you think, girl? We're good. Oh, it is there. No! And they have the land to cast it. Alright, whatever. You know, it could be worse. We'll take it. And then we have the negate for the next one, right? That's fine. That's fine. That's good. Good. It's, I mean, draw, and they've got 3 land up. No problems. 2 to the bottom, that's nice. And we can bet that they don't have it, so I think we can take care of Yorion. I think it should land. If they had a counterspell here and then top decked an ultimatum, I'd freak out. So we're exiling Yorion with Kaya. It goes through. Nice. And I just wish we had another land. Because this could be messy. They're going to take the scry here. Oh, it could be messy. We have to get lucky. Are we lucky? Or did we mess up? We are lucky! No, not really. We lose Kaya. We're going to have to plus her and then minus her. We still have our negate mana up. Holding up our negate here. And then we'll -3 on Kaya, just so she dies.
It's the least you deserve.
We have 7 mana. Just hold up our negates. We're golden here. This is great. Ashiok's gonna take us home. I love beating rogue decks and Sultai Ultimatum decks. It is so rewarding for me. We lost to the rogue already, but I think this might be a win. Right, they might scoop when we throw out that negate. This was scried to the top, so let's see what it was. Hopefully not a Vorinclex, right? What do they have? Alright, I mean, it doesn't have Trample. That's a card. The Ashiok token saving the day here. In a big, big way. Whoa, what did we just get? I think it was the Erebos intervention. This is actually problematic. I'm gonna be honest. We have 2 negates. We know we'll only need 1 of them. Pass our turn. I mean, if Ashiok can just push up each turn into an ultimate, that's fine. I have to negate this. Right. That keeps Ashiok alive. We can -7 next turn. That might be our best option. We also get a draw here for some life. See what else we exile. Let's get a Sultai Ultimatum. We'll bring out Kaya, Professor Onyx, right? Let's get the Emergent Ultimatum is what I should call it. Sorry. Now you guys know it by both names, right? It's better. Omen, they're taking a dig. They're taking a dig. We took this deck in our last video down to 0 cards from 80 with a 60-card deck. That's how much they were drawing. Surviving all 4 copies of it. Somehow. I didn't notice that goes to the bottom. We got a Massacre Worm. That's alright. Let's take the draw. Gain some life. Not quite what I need. We may as well start scrying here. I guess we need another white source, hey? That fills the role. More land's not bad. Let's just go for it. Right. There's some cool cards here.
Tragedies are the stars of your final act.
I mean, I guess we could have left Yorion. I like to take their companion. You know what I mean? It's like, that's my guy. You're not supposed to take him. And I guess we can bounce this. Can we own... Oh, we don't own that. I didn't read that, actually. I thought we could bounce the thing there. Oh, but what are we going to take here? Oh, did we get rid of them all? Where's Kaya? Have we gone through both Kayas? I guess. And what do they have? They have that hexproof thing. We just need to get in its way. They have nothing in their hand. Let's just get this in play. Let's take a Teferi, because why not? And, no, Agonizing Remorse. These are all useless. I guess. I mean, it's something. I thought we had Kaya. One is there. Where was our Kaya? Oh, it's not single colored, dum-dum. You're such a ding-a-ling, HGG! Right, I don't really play a lot with this deck either. Monocolor permanents. I don't have to read it to remember it. I know. LOL. Kaya's multicolored, you ding-a-ling. Right, and now that I look over at my Twitch chat, they're yelling at me. Yeah, don't be a dummy. So yeah. Let's take this useless card out of their hand. Nothing of importance from their grave to take. Fairy's out, and now we can start cycling through our deck at an expedited rate. What are we bringing back? We have Kaya to bring back. Perfect. I guess this eliminate is useless. And turn. We have a draw through the tome. Fairy can plus. I think we're good. I don't really want to... I know we can't target it, but if it's the only thing they have... No, I still don't think it'll work. Resolve. Is this the ultimatum I want to counter? I don't care. Let's see where this damage goes. Should we take it? Because their stuff is going to be locked out after this. Let's take a draw. Toss the land. Sorry, Teferi. Your sacrifice has been noted.
I must have missed something.
Big hit. Did I not have an Elspeth in play? Oh, they killed it with binding. I understand. That's how little you have to pay attention while you play this deck. That's how powerful it is. Let's get the Dream Trawler in play, right? And then we still have Negate mana. Take our Scry too. There we go. I just assumed they would have taken the Sea God instead. So I still don't think we can target it. It's got hexproof, right? We'll just grab the binding, I guess. Whatever. It's a good win, though. We get there. Nice match. Top 1000. Some hard matches today. Rogues and Ultimatum. Woof. Alright. Just like our last video, where we beat that Sultai Ultimatum deck, Emergent Ultimatum, we got him again today, and it is so satisfying. It's the greatest time. The only way this video could have been better is if we beat the Rogue deck and then we beat the Ultimatum deck. Oh my gosh. That would have been something else for me personally. I don't know, do you guys get like that as well when you beat the most annoying deck? It's just such a good feeling for me. Let me know in the comments if you guys are a similar way. Thank you all for your time and attention. What do you think of the deck? How can we improve it? Let me know in the comments below as well. Make sure to like the video if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe to the channel to get in on our contests and giveaways. I know you know this. You already know what I'm going to say. The 500,000 gems and the D&D playset. Definitely jump in the Discord, put your name on the list, and you know, there's lots of people who will help you. More than anything you've seen here today. You know, let's just take a second. You go have yourselves a magical day, and we'll see you soon in the next.